Hi, good afternoon and welcome back. I have a very special guest in the studio with me this afternoon, Katharina Hartmuth, who was not only second in the UTMB 10 days ago, but turned up to the start line of the 3:30 on Sunday and has unfortunately withdrawn from the race at Donnas. That's correct. Welcome, Katharina. Sorry to hear about your race, but a little bird tells me that you are quite madly in love with this race already.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I am. I've only seen like almost half of the course now, but it's amazing. I just want to go back out there and run this race. Yeah.
So you did 150. Well, you said that you spent some time at Cannes. You were in second position behind Sabrina. And tell us what happened from there.
Yeah, so actually the first 100 kilometers went pretty well. I was actually a bit surprised by that, so shortly after UTMB. But then in the second half of the first night, actually, I already felt very tired. And I was like, ooh, that's maybe a bit too early to feel that tired. And that at Cognac, then I sat there in the live base and I was just feeling sick. Like, I don't know, my stomach did strange things. I was feeling like dizzy in my head. And I was just like, ooh, should I already drop here? Maybe this is the sign that I should stop now. But then I thought, no, I can't drop at an aid station. Let's just try and walk. And then I walked a bit and up to the next pass. And yeah, I mean, I just then decided to enjoy the day, the sun, and the beautiful course. But it was pretty clear to me that I should stop at the next live base, which was at Donnas, because my legs, they were just telling me that, well, yeah, they still felt UTMB and the 100K I did in the night and the day before. So I think it was just like a wise decision, if you want to call it like that. Because I could have continued. I would have loved to continue, but in the end, I think I would have needed several weeks to recover from that, and I don't know if that would have been worth it.
Okay, but can we maybe provisionally book you back onto the orange sofa for next year?
Please do so. I will definitely be back, and
okay.
Hopefully already next year. That would be amazing, and then hopefully also a bit more rested.
Yes, exactly. You heard it here first. Unless, of course, she goes to challenge Courtney for the #1 spot in UTMB, and then we might need to wait another year or so. But anyway, I'm delighted to hear you made a good and wise decision and that you are going to have a much quicker recovery time before the next great adventure. Can we talk about what's still happening out there? Because it is all happening. We're into the last 100K for the women and even less so for the men. Franco Collet is just gone past Refugio Clermont. He is an hour ahead of his record, his 2021 record. He's got about an hour over Romain Olivier because he had to stop to get some rest. Talk me through your thoughts on the men's race at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see that Franco is still ahead of the record. And I think, I mean, he will know, so he will maybe push even more towards the end. Now that he knows that there's a new record possible. And yeah, I think now with the maybe a bit cooler temperatures than yesterday, it's not that hot anymore. Yeah, I really hope that he will break the record. That would be just amazing.
And it seems to be a really fast course because I don't know if you've been following the 450, but Sébastien Raichamp is 7 hours or 8 hours now ahead of his own record. What is it that's making it a fast course this year? I know this is your first one, so perhaps you don't have much experience, but you are an experienced runner, so I'm hoping you might give me some insight.
Yeah, I think one point is that it's rather like the course is rather dry this year, so it's not super muddy or wet, which usually I think makes it more difficult, especially the descents. And I thought already in the night that it was easier to run the descents. Also, there is, I think, no snow anywhere, so that helps obviously as well. And also the weather until now, I mean, it has been hot yesterday and also on Sunday, and there was a bit of rain tonight, but I think it's pretty much perfect weather so far. So yeah, no heavy rain, no thunderstorms, nothing like that. And I think that usually makes the course really fast.
Excellent. And talking of fast courses, we're going to shift on to the women now because Emma Stewart, not only leading the women in her first attempt at the Tour des Géants and her first attempt at a race this size, who lives and trains in the Peak District in England, which is not known for its altitude, leading currently, I know it's 100 kilometers to go, but currently 3 hours ahead of Sabrina Verjee's record from last year. She's doing incredibly well.
Yeah, I mean, that's super exciting to see. I mean, it's still 100K to go, and she will run into a third night, which will be quite a challenge, especially when she's not that experienced with the length of the race. Yeah, I just hope that she looks after herself well and that she slept maybe already enough during the last night, because you can lose so much time during that last part because you are tired or whatever. Yeah, but I think maybe due to sleep deprivation. But yeah, it's amazing to follow. I mean, I cross my fingers that it will work. I mean, just because it's exciting always to see a new record. But also, I talked a lot to Sabrina yesterday because she also unfortunately had to drop, and we went back together to Courmayeur. And then she told me that she had a pretty good second half of the race last year. So let's see, maybe if this works out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following social media, which has been basically my main source of information, which is absolutely amazing. Stephanie Case is doing an incredible job out there as an unofficial course reporter. And I heard that Emma her feet were quite bad. She had stopped for blisters. But you can push through quite a lot, I suspect. I think, as you say, it's the sleep deprivation that will be the killer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, I guess that she's running alone. I don't know if there are any men close to her. Maybe that would help as well if you have like a companion. But I'm afraid that that's not the case. And yeah, I think we saw her yesterday at Donnas at the aid station and getting her feet taped up. And yeah. I mean, I know by myself that can hurt quite a lot. But I think she's now so far. And with the record, the record possible, that gives you an extra boost. And I mean, especially with the finish line inside, that gives you an additional boost as well. So I hope that she can push through it. Yeah,
so I hope so. And you were just asking about the men. She's an hour and a half ahead of the man in front of her, and she's an hour and a half, behind her and an hour ahead. She's on her own. She's definitely on her own. But behind her, Justine Pauli, a very experienced athlete. Now, what are the... so going into this third night, is this perhaps where an experienced athlete, because she's less than an hour behind, is this where an experienced athlete could make some wiser decisions? I think Justine Pauli has had more sleep from what I can gather.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, an hour is nothing. Even if you are like rested and only do 100K, then you still can make up that hour. So I think there is the victory is definitely not secured for Emma yet. And Jocelyn, she's so experienced, and I mean, I ran a little bit with her in the first night, and I also saw her again at Konya and also at Donnas, and she looked pretty good. And I think she's her experience will help her to to look after herself, to sleep enough, to fuel herself. And it's so exciting that they're so close together.
I know. And then only 45, 50 minutes behind Jocelyne, is Sophie Grant, who ran last year and said that she made mistakes that she would like to clear up and learn from this year. Also having some trouble with her feet, we understand. Not trouble, but, blisters. And... but again, that, as you say, that 45 minutes it's not a long time.
No, and I mean, her advantage is that she knows the course. So that's, I think, a pretty huge advantage, especially in that last part or the last 100K. So yeah, I think a lot can still happen. I hope, I think by now that all of the three will hopefully finish. I mean, anything can happen. One of them can like have a fall on the last downhill, and
the commentator's curse.
Yeah, that would be horrible. But yeah, it's so cool to see that there is still something like a fight ongoing. I mean, I don't really want to speak of a fight because in the end,
I know, but
they are running together out there. But it's so exciting that there are strong women crushing it out there.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's just so exciting, as you say, to see it's so many top women. I mean, we've unfortunately lost Lisa Borzani, yourself, and Sabrina Vergy, so 3 very strong women out at the top, but still got Elisabetta Negra, and behind her, I think that she's probably the closest in time, a couple of hours behind, also very experienced runner on the Tour des Géants. But it's just, as you say, so spectacularly exciting to see this level of competition between these women.
Yeah, and I also think that's something which is good for if they want to go after the record, because if there is someone behind you pushing you, that helps. I mean, I've experienced it not in terms of record, but last week at UTMB when I realized, okay, 3rd place, it's so close behind me, and I just like, ooh, I have to go now. And even though now the time between the women is a bit more, but there's also more of the course left, and also they are tired and everything. It stays excited. I think the next 24 hours will be pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, I think even less. I mean, we're expecting to see
the
men in, well, it might be for the women, but we're expecting to see the first man in, if it is Franco Colli, in about 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's going to be exciting. So quite a lot. We've sort of slightly touched on it, but really more than ever now, strategy and tactics will be absolutely key for these next sort of 12 hours or so.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think, I mean, I'm not that much experienced yet with these super long races, but I think especially managing yourself in terms of sleep and rest, it's crucial. Because, I mean, maybe you can say, okay, I don't sleep at all, and maybe you can continue, but maybe that slows you down so much in the end that it would be wiser to sleep for like 10 minutes and then continue. And so I think there is so much importance in this strategy, and not so, because I mean they're all tired. Yes, we don't need to discuss this, and it's still a rough course. It's still a lot of climbing left, and just quite a few kilometers. So I think it's the same as for the previous like 250 kilometers that they just need to manage themselves well, and then they can finish.
Brilliant. Well, by this time tomorrow we will probably know, so it's very exciting. And thank you again for coming in to join us. We really hope to see you back here next year, the year after, anytime you like. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the sofa and out there on the race course, and I'm very glad you've fallen in love with it. And we will wish you all the best for a swift recovery and on to the next adventures.
Thank you very much. I will be back for sure.
Thanks.